Good afternoon. Welcome to the Special Report Afternoon Edition with Christopher Oldcorn and Colette Linden. Thank you, Casey Security, for your sponsorship. The Premier is coming up at 1:30 today with our own MP, Ross Romano.
Yes.
What's going on with Ross?
Don't know.
You don't know? I thought you knew everything, Chris.
I'll ask him at 2 o'clock when I'm
That's
on
right.
call with him prior to his other meeting at 2:30.
Well, we're already going to have to have heard from him by then, so that was yesterday's news by the time you talk.
Probably will ask him questions about yesterday's news.
Yes. I wonder if they're going to open by region, Chris.
Oh, I don't know. That was a question I asked him, and then 4 days later, the entire province went from, no, we will never open regionally, we're not even talking about it, to, oh, yeah, we're going to open regionally.
Well,
really? Wow. So glad that
well, we're happy that Ross Romano is in Toronto representing the universities and colleges, but also he's also always representing Sault Ste. Marie. So that will be coming up at 1:30. Guess who's 99 today? Think UK.
I'll go with Prince, what's his name?
He's a Duke.
Duke
of Edinburgh.
The Queen's husband.
The Queen's hubby bubby.
Philip.
He's got 99 problems, maybe, but no, he doesn't. Just kidding. There he is there. He's celebrating 99 years today, so happy birthday to the Duke. Yes. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to watch any documentaries or perhaps even watch The Queen, which was airing on Netflix, but he's quite the character. Let's just leave it at that. Have you ever watched anything?
No.
Okay.
I actually know very little about him. I mean, everybody else is always out in the public eye. And he's been very quiet and reserved.
Well, back in the day, when their children were little, he wasn't so quiet and reserved. We'll leave it at that. But anyways, we want to acknowledge the Alzheimer's Society of Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma District are selling luxurious ladies raffle tickets. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, they had to push their event. It is now changed to September 21st at 4:30 p.m. to purchase your tickets. Go onto Facebook and Google. Don't go to Facebook and Google. Go to
Facebook and Google it.
Oh, what mistake! He's all over me. Anyways, go to Facebook and look into Algoma District's Alzheimer's Society. I think it's time to go over to weather before we
let's do weather.
All right, I feel like I need to hit him while the camera's on.
Let's hear about that snow coming, Danny.
Go. Yeah.
Yes, well, I am just going to comment on your topic as well, Colette. For the ladies raffle tickets as well as Facebook, you can actually call the Alzheimer's Society and they'll take your name, number, and they'll also take your MasterCard over the phone if you want to purchase that. So again, it can be over the phone. But into the weather, as you heard Chris Colette say, there is a chance for snow, not for our region necessarily, but more up north. So if you're looking towards James Bay, because of this crystal ball hurricane that's been coming in and slowly diminishing, it's all the remnants now, that it will continue kind of coming through. So they're going to get a cooler effect, which is also why our temperatures seem to be dropping over the next few days, because that cold effect. We do want to talk about today's weather. It is a mix of sun and clouds right now, and it's currently 25, but it feels like 30. Also, don't think it feels like 30 because of all the wind gusts right now. This evening, it's going to be a light rain. It's going to go down to 18. Then overnight, this is where the temperature drops. It's going to go down to 3 with that chance of rain. Heading into Thursday morning, it's going to be 8 degrees. It's going to be light rain. In the afternoon, it's going to go up a little bit to 18, but come the evening, it's going to drop back down. But with the evening, it is going to be pretty sunny. So we didn't see that tonight. We're going to see that tomorrow. Come Friday, it's going to be a mix of sun and clouds. The high for the day will be 9 and the low will be 4. It's going to come cooler into the afternoon, and then heading into the weekend, it is going to warm up a bit. So we are going to hit those double digits for the weekend. Back to the desk.
I'm a little confused. I lived in Miami for a little while, and when we used the term hurricane, we didn't associate the word snow with it.
No. Did you tip your girlfriend off about the snow before the show started? Did you let her know? Yeah, did you let her know? Because I feel like she's either already gone or packing right now as you speak.
I let my girlfriend know that snow was a possibility.
Okay.
From a hurricane.
Okay.
Which I'm pretty sure she's very confused from, because so am I. What's
going on Facebook today?
Yeah, we got a couple highs. So Tammy Lynn, good day to you as well.
Such a great supporter, Tammy Lynn.
Yes, and Erica as well. Snow in June 2020 has gone off the deep end, according to Erica. Yes, I agree.
2020 is off the hizzy.
I know. We had snow on Mother's Day. Now we could have snow in June.
Snow for Father's Day, maybe?
I'm sorry. Where do I go to get away from snow? I'd just like to know.
You go back to Miami, babe.
Yeah. So if anyone knows of any TV jobs in Miami.
Oh, don't tell him. What am I going
Please
to
tell
do?
me,
No,
'cause,
don't tell him.
yeah.
Well, you're not going to be able to have
Or maybe
her-
I can Zoom from there. Maybe we could just do the Zoom. I'll just go to Miami. I'll Zoom, do like on locations at all my favorite
Oh
spots.
no, we need to have the live and in person
Oh,
and the real effect
it's
of
overrated.
Christopher Oldcorn. Now, if you are on your travels, know that Starbucks is closing 400 stores, 200 in Canada actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's pulling back on its presence in Canada with plans to close up to 200 coffee shops. Seattle-based chain says it intends to restructure its company-operated business in Canada under a 2-year plan. The details were included in a letter to shareholders filed on Wednesday with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission.
Yeah, apparently they want more just like pickup counter stores and not the ones where you go and you sit down.
So
apparently.
we've got the one in Pinos and we have the one in Great Northern Road.
Yes.
Have you heard any? I don't know. Hopefully that one's not affected. Let's hope it's not.
I have not heard anything about either one of those.
We need to keep our jobs here in this zoo, so I hope not. Now over to CERB. That is the funding that we
Yes.
have out.
Canadian Emergency Response Benefit.
Emergency response benefit. Okay, so they originally budgeted $38 billion. It is now budgeted at $60 billion because it's just the money that they've given out has far surpassed anything that the government was ready or originally expected for. Now the problem is there's a lot of fraud around this CERB funding.
Well, we don't know. It's
they do.
possible. It's
Wow,
possible.
such a politician's response,
Yeah,
Christopher. I'm
it's
quite proud of you.
possible that there's fraud, but there's fraud in everything, so
Yeah, well,
it shouldn't
there
be a
is.
surprise that.
But I mean, people double dipping, people
I mean, that's why
working.
people go to jail for like tax evasion and things like that.
Right, but
you
people
know.
double dipping or are applying
Yes.
for the fund and applying for other funds. You're going to have to pay that
Yes.
back, so be careful of that.
And apparently they're even contemplating jail time and 300% interest.
300%.
Yes, the NDP said they will not support jail time or 300% interest for people who violate
Holy crap.
CERB and like have gotten it not when they should have.
Okay. Well, they're going to give you a chance to pay it back. We don't need
Yeah,
to go off the
300%
hinges
interest,
here.
which
Yeah.
I believe is called loan sharking, not government, but I could be slightly wrong on that one.
We have a commercial coming up. Before we get there, I just want to talk about a new legislation. Despite federal opposition, parties to appear unlikely to allow an emergency legislation to push forward today. The Liberals are bringing together or introducing a contentious piece of emergency legislation to extend COVID-19 aid programs. All the other parties are against it, and we will have more information as that rolls out because I do believe they're meeting now. But we have a lot of local news for you today. Chris has some updates, especially some Hamiltonians who are off the
Yes.
hook right now with COVID-19. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
See you in a moment.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. And doing things for what we adore, but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
A message from the Government of Canada.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. Create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern Peoples Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road. Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service. King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Everman Road, and even on Pine Shores. Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
afternoon edition. I'd like to thank KC Securities for their sponsorship. You're here with Chris Oldcorn and Colette Linden. Got another Facebook, well, it wasn't a hi, it was more of a thumbs down to the snow from Danielle. I agree, thumbs down to snow at this point in the year. I think we can just wait until winter for snow again.
I feel like another finger should be used for snow in June.
Yeah, but, oh, well, actually, we're not regulated by the CRTC.
I'm not doing
so
it, but I feel we don't need to.
We're outside CRTC guidelines.
We don't need to elaborate on that.
Yeah, we could, but I'm trying to keep it family. Okay, so we're going to talk about COVID-19 here in Ontario.
Yeah.
We are actually waiting for a crap ton of tests to be done here in Algoma. We're up, I believe it was about 650 tests we're waiting for right now.
Oh.
I'm not sure why, because the provincial testing numbers are up. We were at just under 20,000 tests yesterday. And somehow we magically went up about 350 outstanding tests in just one day.
Okay.
But good news about COVID-19 is we only had 251 new cases yesterday.
Good, that's awesome. That's half of what usually we expect to
Yes,
hear
and
from.
actually, speaking of half, what a great segue, and you don't even know this.
I do know it.
Okay, the total number of recoveries yesterday were 550. So we actually had more than double the recoveries as new cases, which is an important number to watch because that means your overall case numbers are going down from people recovering. So thank you for that.
Oh, you are very welcome, Christopher.
So we actually, because of that, we are now below 6,000 active cases. We have 5,961 active cases across the province. We have had 31,341 people test positive for COVID-19, but just under 6,000 still are positive for COVID-19. We had 11 deaths yesterday, which is actually the lowest number since June the 1st.
Good.
Our
not
total,
good, but you know.
Yeah, our total deaths for the province now are 2,475, which is less than half the 5,000 they had in Quebec that we talked about earlier. They did almost 20,000 tests yesterday, just 60 under doing 20,000. But the numbers that are really important, and here's the good numbers. We're down 20 day-over-day in the hospital, down to 580 people hospitalized, 118 in the ICU, and we're now down to 86 on ventilators. ICU numbers stayed the same, but the ventilator number went down, and so did our total amount hospitalized. And now we only have 75 long-term care homes that are considered to have an active outbreak, which is good because we had 312 total outbreaks in long-term care homes. Also, we've had 86 outbreaks in hospitals, and only 4 are considered active right now, so that's another really good number. And amongst healthcare workers, they're about 16% of all the cases, and about 12%, and this has been a steady number for quite some time, but about 12% of all the positive cases end up being hospitalized at some point.
Okay.
So that seems to be a very consistent number, the 12%. That's very consistent also across the US and other countries as well. It seems to be around 12% of people that need to be hospitalized at some point in when they have COVID-19.
Okay.
So we got that. And then you mentioned Hamilton.
Hamiltonian.
Yes.
What's going on with my hometown?
So, there apparently is quite a rise in cases amongst young adults. There is a couple possible reasons for that. However, Hamilton, this is just the previous 10 days. So in Hamilton as of June the 8th, people in their 20s, so 20 to 29, accounted for 40% of all the COVID-19 cases. However, people in their 70s only accounted for 5% of all the COVID-19 cases, and the people over their 70s are responsible for almost 80% of all the deaths in Ontario for COVID-19, which is a very weird number. They're blaming it on a couple things. One is people in their 20s are going back to work. Most of them are commuting. So
I was just going to say that.
They're mixing with the public more than people are in their 70s because all our long-term care homes are still locked down, so it's not the same in and out that you would normally have. And then are also Barbara Yaffe, who's our Associate Chief Medical Officer of Health, is also saying one of the reasons you're seeing a spike in people in their 20s is because we're actually testing more people in their 20s now.
Okay, fine.
So
could they be asymptomatic?
Yes, some of them are very asymptomatic, actually. Those are not active cases. These are people that are actually even walking in off the street and asking for a test.
Okay. And another thing too to remember, Hamilton and GTA have not lifted their restrictions.
No, they have not.
So a lot of them are not back at work, really, too. So I mean, but there is commuting. Anybody who lives in Hamilton generally works in Toronto, anyways, because it's cheaper. So Well, that's unfortunate. So Hamiltonians, be careful, and mom and dad
But there
stay
is a
home.
lot of factories in Hamilton, and factories are allowed to go back to work. There's a lot of construction as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and a lot of young people are in construction and doing factory work as well. So there,
right.
and other retail stores are opening. A lot of people in their 20s work in retail.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And
So
there's a
they
lot of
are
outdoor.
mixing with the public more than they were before. So
Yeah.
that could account for some of that. But
All right, well, we're going to cut to commercial shortly, but I've got a lot of local news coming up that I want you to come back to with regards to the fire that happened at St. Paul's School the other day.
yeah, just over where we live.
Yeah, is deemed suspicious. We will get into that. We've got a lot of impaired driving charges that we want to talk about, but we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Welcome back. Thank you, Casey Security, for your sponsorship. Let's go right to local news, but first I just want to comment on Rich Zest Foods. I had an interview with Richard Moore this afternoon. 11:30 or mid-morning, late morning, and Richard has a pop-up food market. Awesome stuff, all fresh produce, and all his produce is located on Algoma Marketplace, so I encourage you to go there. But more importantly, we have a giveaway, and we want to encourage you guys to write in. And I don't have the specifics around the giveaway just yet and how we're going to give this away, but it is for this federally approved bug spray that actually sits. It's got a clip there, sits on you.
Federally approved?
Yes, the
Bug spray.
RCMP endorsing this. Use this, and it's non-greasy, which is great. I don't know what makes a federally approved bug spray,
I'm just wondering.
but this does.
I mean, the Queen has official cookies and stuff. Is this kind of like similar?
Of course she does. Yes, this is the official cookie for anybody who's going to campsites this weekend.
RCMP. Wow.
But that is also on the Algoma Marketplace. We will have more details in the morning, but I wanted to say thank you to Richard for our interview, and you will see that on one of our shows Thursday or Friday. Okay, moving on to fire services. The fire at St. Paul's School that took place, I think, at about 5 a.m. the other morning, has been deemed suspicious, officially deemed suspicious.
Would it be suspicious because there was no one there?
Well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't just
I mean, who's at the school at 5 a.m. when the school's in lockdown?
Exactly. Officers with investigation services continue to investigate this suspicious fire that took place on June 9th. So that was yesterday at 5 a.m.
Yes, it was. Yep.
They continue to investigate the incident. Investigators will continue to collaborate with the fire marshal, and we will have more information. But if you witness anything, maybe you went for a jog, you took your dog for a walk, and you remember anything, contact the police services and let them know. United Way income tax program is accepting taxes, but you need to just drop it off only. They're not having people come in, okay? So if you need help with your taxes, United Way wants you to come down to their Queen Street office, Queen Street East office, put your paperwork in an envelope, seal it, put your contact information on it. They will get a hold of you and go from there. Just want to remind you that it's only via paperwork, okay? You're not allowed to show up. The board...
Can you send it in digitally?
It didn't say that. It wants hard copies, so...
All right.
I don't know, but then they're going to have to do something for you to sign your paperwork afterwards, but I guess they set all that up with you. But United Way is there to help you, so I wanted to make sure that everyone in the community knew that service was available.
That's good.
There are board members required for the Community Theatre Centre. They're looking for 3 positions, which last about 2 years. The Sault Ste. Marie City Council is accepting applications from individuals interested in serving on the board for the Community Theatre Centre. This is a nonprofit center or a nonprofit corporation without share capital. They want you to be involved. They have 3 positions available, like I said, for a 2-year tenure. Okay, we've got another impaired driving charge. Yeah, I don't understand it. This one's quite the story. On June 9th, which was yesterday in the afternoon, police services received a call about a man sleeping behind the wheel. Parked vehicle. At least he parked the vehicle.
Well, technically that's not drunk driving, that's drunk sitting.
Well, 0 to 100 block of Allard Street is where this was located. Upon arrival, officers located the accused behind the wheel, fast asleep. So they woke him up and said, yo, what's going on? When they realized that he was definitely impaired, he failed a standardized field sobriety test, and 23-year-old Mackenzie Atkinson was arrested for impaired driving and scheduled to appear in court July 20th.
Okay, something I don't understand about this one.
He was in the car. Keys must have been in the car.
Must have been.
Yeah, you have to, if the keys are in the vehicle.
Okay.
I think
because I was going to say, like, we tell people to sleep it off in their car.
Yeah, but
maybe
if the keys are within reach.
Yeah.
I think what I heard of you to put keys in your trunk. But actually, I think what the best thing to do is just go to bed. Don't fall asleep. But anyway, at some point he was behind the wheel, obviously. You don't just open your car door. Okay, want to commend Sault College and the Sault College Students Union support for Pride and raising the flag today. I also had the opportunity to speak with Kyle from Algoma Family Services and Amanda from Strong Minds. That is all the events that are running for the month of June for Pride Month. We will have that video for you in the next couple of days. But that was an awesome interview. I want to thank them again, and I want to thank Sault College for raising the flag today.
Side note on Pride flag, Donald Trump has said that all federal buildings and embassies and so on are not allowed to raise the Pride flag this month.
I don't even have a comment for that,
So
and nor should we even acknowledge it.
Another example of Donald Trump, of why he should not be president.
Thank God we're Canadian. Okay, I want to go over to my Toronto Maple Leafs quickly before we throw to our hashtag in this together video. Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy was awarded to Zach Hyman, one of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Woo!
Also Canadian. That's
he was
probably
born
part of
in
the reason why they
Toronto.
won. Nice. We're nice people. We're nice
Can you
people.
imagine being born in Toronto and playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs? How awesome. The Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy is awarded annually to the National Hockey League player who best exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication.
Absolutely.
Congratulations. And Bill himself was one of the only players in the NHL who died from a hockey injury within the league. Okay, we're going to throw to a hashtag in this together video after this commercial break.
though we can't always meet in person, we can still listen.
Even though schools are closed, help is still available in your community.
Even though you may be worried, services and supports are still here.
In stressful times like these, families need mental health supports more than ever.
We are here to make sure you can stay connected to your community and culture.
Nous savons qu'il peut être difficile de rester à la maison, mais vous n'êtes pas seul.
And we know asking for help for yourself and others can be hard.
But there are people in your community who are ready to support you.
No matter your age, gender, sexual identity, race, or culture.
No matter the day, time, or issue.
We're here to help.
Welcome back to our Wacky Wednesday afternoon show. Apparently, I am Colette Linden with Christopher Oldcorn. Thank you to Casey Security for their sponsorship. We're just debating whether it's how to pronounce necropsy. It's an autopsy for a whale, just so.
If you don't know what it's how to pronounce something, just say it confidently,
Okay, it's called
and
necropsy.
90% of people will believe you.
I'm just going to go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so experts are looking for a way to conduct a necropsy on a whale that died after making its way up the St. Lawrence River to Montreal. A boat pilot, really? Pilot? I should have said it confidently. Why am I stopping? A boat pilot spotted the carcass of the whale, which is presumed to be the same one that spent the last several days in the metropolitan area.
I think somebody at Canada Press doesn't know that pilots are for planes, not boats. But
well,
thank you, Canada Press, for that.
We have fact check.
We appreciate that.
We're like Trump. We're like Trump's tweets. We need fact checks.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what do you have? You have something that you want to discuss.
Okay. So tonight on my show, I'm going to be talking about the City Council. You're going to see a picture on your screen here. Basically, tonight I called it my City Council Circus evening, where I'm going to discuss two things in depth. One is the broadband internet access.
Good.
That's one thing. And then the other thing I'm discussing is the financial assistance to municipalities. I've already dealt with this several times this week, talking about how there has been announcements for this, and somehow the City Council was completely unaware of that. Luckily, in the City Council meeting, at least some of them knew that there was announcements on this. But I go in depth on both those things, particularly with how financial assistance to municipalities is happening, because there was blatantly, either they didn't know or they didn't want to appear that they were making a weird type of request. I don't know, just basically on the councillors. But they claim that there was no new money, which is wrong. There was $14 billion in new money. Yes, $2.2 billion for gas tax was already allocated, it's just being fast-tracked. But they pretended like all this money was already allocated and it wasn't new money. That's just either they don't know what they're talking about, which is ignorance, or they're just being disingenuous, or they're just not happy with Trudeau for some reason.
Disingenuous. Good
yes.
word, Christopher.
Yeah. So those two things I deal with in depth tonight. Each one's a 6-minute segment, because I lay out exactly what is actually reality. Hopefully some people on City Council will actually watch that. I might send it to several of them. And then I've also mentioned, I'm going to start, I have interviewed about half of council.
Yeah.
The other half are a little squiggly and won't sit down for interviews.
Why?
I guess they're afraid of real questions.
Realism,
that would be my guess. So I'm going to be starting to hound them. And next week, I'm going to start a shame list for members of City Council in Sault Ste. Marie who refuse to do interviews with me. They do it with other outlets.
See, how could we have this type of, going back and forth if you were Zooming from Miami? It wouldn't happen.
If this wasn't COVID-19, I'd be shoving a mic in their face when they walk out of City Hall.
Yes, and that's coming soon.
Coming soon when COVID-19's over. So
we did say we had the hashtag in the together video, but that'll be tomorrow.
Yes.
Watch Chris at 7. Good luck with that. Watch
Colette
my
at
news.
5.
Thank you.
See
Have
you
a
tomorrow
good
morning.
night.
Have a great day.